We're going to be talking about power rankings, where the media has the Detroit Lions. What does it look like? Yes, it really doesn't matter in the big scheme of things, but I do like to see where the mainstream media believes the Detroit Lions are going to be at after the 2023 NFL Draft. Are they getting love? Are they getting hate? We will go through that. We're going to talk about the Lions' new swag, players like Amon-Ra, St. Brown, talking and trying to back it up. Same with Jared Goff. Is it a good? Is it a bad thing? And is the Detroit Lions a top 5 football team in the NFL or in the NFC? So that's what we're going to do here. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of the Detroit Lions and you want to hear it from a fan perspective as well as a former player in Herman Moore, you go ahead and subscribe to this channel because that's what this is all about. Also, hit that like button. It does help this channel out. Let's go. Let's go ahead and start with the power rankings here. It's just a collaboration of multiple outlets giving their thoughts on the Detroit Lions. This article here was by SI.com, Power Rankings, to show you where the Detroit Lions at. So I'm going to go through each one, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and what I think of it. So we're going to start here. Sports Illustrated got the Detroit Lions at 8th in the NFL. I think that's justifiable, a top 10 football team. When you look in the NFC, primarily, you got just a couple teams there that really stand out as that teams that can take it to the next level. Obviously, 49ers, Philadelphia Eagles. You got teams also like the Dallas Cowboys and Seattle Seahawks. So to be placed at 8th overall, and you got to think there's a lot of good teams in the AFC. I think this is justifiable. Will it end up being that way? I don't know, but I don't have a problem with being a top 10 team right now. I kind of think that's kind of where they're at, between 10 and 11 or 12-ish if you were to just kind of look at all the teams right there. So I approve of that one. Where do you have the Detroit Lions being ranked right now in the NFL? 1 through 32. 1 if you think they're the best team in the NFL. 32 if you think they are butt cheeks. Let me know in the comments below. Let's continue on here. We have Bleacher Report has the Detroit Lions at 17. I think that is off, them being worse than half of the NFL, 16 being half. I think that's not justifiable. I think the Detroit Lions are better than being at rank 17, for sure. Like I said, I have them, it could be top 10 to 11 or 12. 17th, I think, is kind of garbage a little bit there. If you look at the rest of the NFL, I think they're better than that. I think they win the NFC North, and that alone will put them as a playoff team, a home playoff team. That's better than 17th in the NFL. I could go through multiple teams. So I think Bleacher Report here is being a little bit of a hater on the Detroit Lions. I think that's off quite a bit. Let's continue on here. All Lions power rankings got them 4th in the NFL. I think that is really high for the Detroit Lions. I think that's a little too high right now. Look, I love it, but 4th in the NFL, I can look at other teams right now like the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets, I think did take a step up with all the acquisitions that they did. You can look again at, I think, the San Francisco 49ers, Philadelphia Eagles are above them, looking at it from a roster standpoint. So 4th, man, that's some Kool-Aid love right there. I would love for them to be actually 4th in the NFL. That would be outstanding. I appreciate the love that they're showing there, but a little bit high for me right now. I want to see it on the field before I say the Detroit Lions are the 4th best team in the NFL. I do. But I love the love. 10th in the NFL, USA Today. I think that's perfectly fine. I would probably put that where the Lions are at, a top 10 team. Again, if you look at the rest of the NFC and the AFC, I like it. That's justifiable there. I think they got a good grasp on the Detroit Lions right now for what they're bringing. Absolutely think this is perfect. For me, 10 makes perfect sense of all the spots right now in the league. Let's continue on here. Athletic has 13th. I'm not going to be upset about that. I think 12 is kind of the worst they're at. 12th right now, so 13's one spot away. Athletic got them going right there. It's just talking about drafting running back, linebacker, tight end, all in the top 34 picks. A risky bet, but I hope the team can in the facility before making it. CBS Sports HQ there, 11th in the NFL, perfect spot for them. I really do like CBS Sports HQ. They got Rick Spielman in there. They got a lot of quality individuals that run their operation. One of the bigger mainstream medias that I actually listen to, subscribe to their channel, listen to all their mock drafts and everything they do. I like Ryan Wilson. So 11th is good. I do like that spot. And so that's going on there. Personally, in my opinion, I think 10, 11 is perfectly fine. That's where I would have the ranking. And again, it could be much different if the Detroit Lions get more talent on the team or if there's injuries before the regular season to other teams, because there's still a lot of factors that go in there. But I do like that the roster that they got, and I think that top 10, if you were to say that, is perfectly fine. Again, the comment for this video, do you think that the Detroit Lions are a top 10 team, or where do you rank them in the NFL? Another question was, do you think the Detroit Lions are a top 5 team? Well, one of these outlets here, they did believe so. I think they're top 5 in the NFC. I'm not going to say in the NFL. In the NFC, do got to worry about the Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, I think Dallas Cowboys, Seattle Seahawks. Detroit's right there. You could put them above Dallas or above Seattle if you would like, but I do think they're a top 5 NFC team. I think they do win the NFC North and become probably a top 4 if you do that, because there's going to be obviously 2 wild card spots. So yeah, I think that's justifiable to say that. When you look at the rest of the NFC, Chicago Bears, they're better. I think they're better than the Vikings. I think they're better than the Packers. I think they're better than the Arizona Cardinals, the Rams, the Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints. I think they're better than those teams. The AFC makes it harder for the Lions to be a top 5 team in the NFL because there's a ton of good teams. We talked about it. The Bills, I think the Chargers are really good. The Jets, I think they took a step forward. The Miami Dolphins are pretty good. So there's a lot of good teams in the AFC, so it's hard for me to put them at top 10 right there. But in the NFC, or top 5, I think in the NFC they are a top 5 team. Where do you have them ranked in the NFC? Let me know in the comments below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you think they're later in that 6, 7? Let me know your thoughts. I think 4, 5 is justifiable. 4 and 5 in that area for the Lions. I'm not ready to put them ahead of the 49ers or the Philadelphia Eagles. To me, you got to prove it. And those teams proved it last year. Really damn good football team, and the Eagles continued to have a really good draft, beefing up that defense, just making it nasty. And so I will put those teams right now for sure ahead of the Detroit Lions. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown throwing some shade at the Chicago Bears fan base, saying they look depressed in the NFL draft because he was there in Kansas City. You're seeing Jared Goff saying, I wish Aaron Rodgers would have stayed so we can beat them twice. Kirby Joseph throwing a lot of shade and showing a lot of swag. You're seeing it from the expectations of Dan Campbell. They expect to win the NFC North. They expect to be a playoff team. This is something we're not used to in Detroit. So my question for you is, do you think this swag is a good thing or a bad thing? Do you think they're being overconfident? Do you think they're stepping on each other and making problems for themselves? Doing themselves a disservice by kind of talking a little garbage. Do you think that? I like what they're doing. I love what Jared Goff said. I love Kirby Joseph. I love the swag of Amon-Ra St. Brown. I love it. We've not had that here. We've not had that swag. And I like that chip on their shoulder. I like their confidence. Confidence breeds confidence. Go out there and act like you've done it before. Go out there and act like you're the better team. Show yourself that you believe in yourself and your team, that you can win, that you're a damn good football team. We've seen it. Other teams do it. Why can't we? Why can't we be a football team that shows strength and confidence that they can get it done? I love what they're doing. I absolutely love Amon-Ra St. Brown going out there and throwing that shade. Other teams do it to us all the time. We've been the butt end of jokes for years. How do you change a narrative? You actually got to believe it. You want to change a culture? Believe that you can do it. Believe that you're the better team. Believe that you can go out and win on Sundays. Believe that you're going to make the playoffs. You need to believe it first. You can't just be passive and let people walk all over you. I'm tired of that. This team's been walked on and made and been the butt of jokes for the NFL for decades and decades. It's time to end that. It's time to have the expectations from Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and Sheila Ham that we're going to be a winning franchise. And when they do it, it breeds it to the players. And they believe it. And then we as fans believe it. I love what they're doing. I love this new Lions. It's not being a prick or it's not being, kind of egotistical. It's being confident that we have the ability to do this. We have the ability to win Sundays in and out, left and right. We're the better football team. We have talent. We're going to go out there and accomplish the goals that we set. I love that. And I'm happy they're doing that. I like it. I like this swag. I like what this team is bringing here. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't. I think it's a good thing. I think it's something that's going to help this team out in the long haul because I like it. I like this confidence that they are bringing upon themselves. I do. It's a great thing, but let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's a bad thing? Do you think that Amon-Ra St. Brown going out there and talking about the fans of the Bears being looked a little bit down is a bad thing? Do you think Jared Goff saying, I'd like to beat Aaron Rodgers twice in the division? Do you like that stuff? Kirby Joseph going out there making some noise. I do. But that's just me. Make sure you subscribe to Lions Nation Unite. Hit that like button, folks, because we're dropping videos on this mug all the time, and you don't want to miss out on the latest news and rumors regarding our Detroit Lions.